What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here, and thanks to NotPoloLeaks over on Twitter, we now have some brand new insider information to share with you guys regarding potential upcoming features to the game. These features are set to release sometime in Chapter 7, and it does appear to be a very interesting mechanic that I'm curious to see how it actually ends up working in-game, so we'll be doing a little bit of theorizing towards the end of this video. But we have two new features that are all related to the reboot vans set to release in the next chapter, and the first one is actually going to be drivable reboot vans. Imagine if you're in a situation where the reboot van is, just about to be in the storm, it's going to be in an area where you're not going to be able to properly revive your friends. Well, it would be cooler if you'd be able to just drive the van around, take it to a better spot. You're like, oh, you know what, I'll be better to easily revive my friend if we're up here on the top of a mountain instead of being right here in the middle of a POI. And on the other hand, imagine if you're just sitting in a reboot van, someone comes up, they're finally ready to reboot their teammates and everything else, and then you just drive away on them, right? There's a lot of different unique use cases for the reboot van being drivable, and it appears like that is set to come to the game in the next chapter. Apparently, in order to make this work as well, they're going to be actually redesigning the reboot van, giving it a little bit of like a facelift, according to Blortzen over on Twitter. So that is something kind of keep your eyes out for. We know the reboot van has kind of gotten redesigned a few times now. The most recent one was when you were able to actually buy people's reboot cards. They went ahead and added that little like sign to some of the reboot vans. I don't think every reboot van actually has that sign. I feel like there's some of them that actually miss the reboot card sign on top of it, but it is still something that, a decent amount of reboot vans actually have on them. But this redesign is most likely supposed to make it so that you can see inside of the reboot van. You can see who's actually driving it, so to give it the visibility that you have with a typical vehicle that anyone can just drive, buy in the item shop or whatever else. And who knows, maybe later down the line we're going to end up having this weird situation where we have like reboot vans that you can just purchase in the item shop. So you can have a Fox reboot van that is just something that people go up to it, they're like, oh, I'm trying to revive my teammates, and it's actually a fake one, so that they actually couldn't end up reviving anyone. But the second feature that has been leaked and rumored to come to the game with the next chapter, according to NotPoloLeaks, is a very interesting one, which is being able to revive yourself. Now, I know that sounds very odd. What do you mean revive yourself? Do you mean reboot yourself? It appears to be related to rebooting, but at the same time, who knows? Maybe we can get like the self-revive kits that actually exist over in Warzone, for example, and you'll be able to revive yourself when you're downed using that type of self-revive kit. There's a lot of vague information here regarding how you're going to be able to revive yourself, but from the information we have at least seen posted publicly, it mentions the following from NotPoloLeaks. Now keep in mind this is a translation from Spanish, so there might be some things that are actually kind of like lost in translation somewhat here and there and aren't 100% accurate. But according to what we've been able to translate, it appears that the insider has stated that this upcoming self-revive, self-reboot feature, whatever it's actually going to be called, is going to actually be a system that is similar to Apex or Warzone, using a quote-unquote token or something of that sort. So it could be one of two situations. Maybe it's going to be like a boon or something you pick up that makes it so that when you actually end up getting eliminated, your teammates automatically get your reboot card picked up on them or something like that. Or maybe it's going to be a different system where it's like the self-revive kit in Warzone. Once you've actually been eliminated, once you've gone ahead and done all that type of stuff, you'll be able to actually go ahead and revive yourself as long as you don't get fully eliminated, and you'll be able to go back up and actually eliminate the enemy. Because we do have things that could work as self-revive kits. It probably would take up an inventory slot unless they use a system similar to augments, but it is still something that, we've had some little leaks and rumors here and there about, and we have some slight information about that seems like an interesting feature to actually see implemented over into Fortnite. And I'm curious to see how effective this would be, how long it actually lasts in the game, because we have seen them kind of experiment recently, right? We've had stuff like wall jumping, wall climbing, all that type of stuff, and I do believe things like wall climbing are still here, but being able to like jump off of a wall and, being able to roll when you hit the ground, I don't think those are actually here anymore. I think those are only here for like a season or two. So if we try here, yeah, we can still wall climb, but if we try to like jump off mid wall climb, we can't really do that like you could before where you like kick off of it. And then for example, when you were jumping off of buildings, you used to be able to tap space when you're at the bottom in order to do a little roll to remove fall damage a little bit. That is gone as well. So there is a chance that these features are just more of an experimental thing that we get for like a season or two of Chapter 7 in order to experiment, and if they go well, we keep it. If it doesn't doesn't go well, we don't get to keep it. And then there could also be the odd, really rare situation where they go ahead and decide that this actually isn't something for Battle Royale, and instead it's going to be something for like Blitz Royale or Reload or something else, you know, one of the faster paced modes. But it is still interesting to see these little leaks and rumors here and there, you know, the little hype up things that leakers are going to be able to post because of the fact of the insider information they're able to get, and tons of little things that get us excited for the next season of Fortnite. Let me know based on all the leaks and insider information that you may be aware of, because I feel like some of you guys are actually aware of more insider stuff than I am nowadays. What are you most excited for when it comes to Chapter 7? Are you most excited for the fact that it appears like the IO, the 7, all that type of stuff is actually returning because of how they've been teasing it as the actual like spelled out wording of 7 particularly instead of the number 7? Or are you just kind of like, I care about gameplay, you know, I'm not really someone who cares about lore or whatever else. Whatever your reasonings for playing Fortnite, hey, just enjoy the game, and of course I'll keep you guys updated with the leaks and rumors as I get some of that news and as I find out the best time to share it with you all. So until next time, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload. So until then, peace out.